Hello, hello, I'm Coach Tiara. I love giving communication tips and strategies to leaders to help them both personally and professionally. Thank you so much for watching my broadcast. Tonight is a late one, but you know what? There's been something on my heart that I wanted to just share with a few people because I get this question quite a bit, especially when I'm sitting down with people for consultations. If you don't know me, I'm a communication strategist and I work with leaders who change the world. They're out doing great work, amazing things. Oftentimes, most of my content comes from time with clients and the things that I have to do to coach them and support them with the internal dialogue and the external dialogue they need to connect with their audiences and to continue to do great things. So tonight, what I wanted to talk about was purpose and destiny. So many times I hear people say, did I miss my calling? Or they feel like they're wondering if they're living their purpose. They're not really quite sure if they're doing what they're supposed to do in life. It is such a question that is common amongst people who are aspiring to do great things. And maybe there are some things that are in the way and they just want to know what it is that they should be doing and how they can decide or wonder if they're really on track. And so I want to give you just some of the internal tips that you need to ask yourself. Again, what I do is internal dialogue in most of my videos. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you to those of you who have purchased my books and invited me to come to your companies and give lectures or your colleges. So I'm always looking for opportunities like that. But I'm just going to jump right into this conversation. Here's my disclaimer. I always love to tell people that this is a kingdom conversation. Okay, so those of you who are members of this kingdom, you know who you are, but it is an open invitation for anyone who would love to inquire. You could inbox me. I love to share my faith. And that's the perspective that I come from when I do a lot of my broadcasts. And so anyhow, one of the ways I want you to consider whether or not maybe you are, I won't say missing your calling, but maybe you're not quite embracing it. Your purpose and destiny is if you're always drained. If you're drained and your day drains your energy and it's not giving you energy, then that may be a sign that you may be on a track that is not healthy for you. Now, you have to consider whether or not there are some external things that could be bothering you. It could be the relationships that you're dealing with. It could be that you're around many complaining people. It could be that you have a toxic environment. But if your day is draining you and not adding to you, and I don't mean that you're like tired, you're sleepy and you're ready to go to bed because you gave your day your all. I am saying you feel drained, like you have nothing to give. You can't wait to go home and watch TV and just let the TV watch you until you fall asleep. If that is what you're doing and you're just looking forward to when you get off work and you have nothing left, your purpose, your calling should be adding to you. One thing I know working with dynamic leaders is that their brain doesn't necessarily stop, but they have to work much harder at getting their brain to shut down, because once they get to the end of the day, they're thinking through what they could have done, what they could improve on. They're thinking through what they want to invent, how they want to, make things better the next day. Their mind is constantly going. They're almost obsessed with this project or whatever it is that's in their hands that they need to complete. And so when you're working with the project, let's say you're starting a business, let's say you are doing some great nonprofit work, they're not necessarily drained every day. There may be seasons and there may be periods where they need restoration, because hard times do happen and people go through things. But I'm just saying, on a day-to-day basis, if you are drained and you have nothing left for you to be creative, you have nothing left for you to think about what's healthy for you, you have nothing left for you to maybe work out and focus on your health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health, then you may be investing your time into the wrong things. Number two, if you cannot say, thank God it's Monday, you're looking forward to Friday and not looking forward to Monday, then you may be missing your calling. I'm going to be honest with you about that. Again, when you work with leaders, you work with entrepreneurs, people who are passionate about the work they do, they almost work through to the weekend, and it's very hard to get them to take any time off because they're always thinking about this thing that they're passionate and they're in love with, and they're almost obsessed with it, right? Because it gives them energy, it gives them fuel for life. They're very excited about the future, and they're always excited to put their hands to these projects that they're working on most of the time. That creative space is important to them. So if you're more excited about Friday than you are Monday, then you may be in the wrong space. I want to say this and understand that if you are living for your weekends, then you are living for a small percentage of your life. Most of your life is not the weekend, right? Think about that in terms of the mathematics and the ratio that you're living for 2 days out of the week when you have 7. Why can't every single day be remarkable? Why would you waste so much of your life in dreading 5 days and only looking forward to 2 of them when you can look forward to waking up every single day? That should be the type of life that you are striving to build. So you have to ask yourself, what would I be excited about every single day? What would I be passionate about doing every single day? What is something that I could do every day, whether I was getting paid or not? And if I get paid, it just makes it that much better. Those are just some questions you could ask yourself just so you can get on track. But sometimes it's the mentality that we have been taught that we should just be excited that it's Friday. And we should only be happy for Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, when you should be loving and enjoying every day of your life. Every day of your life is a gift. Every day of your life is an opportunity. Every day of your life is a chance. And you may not see tomorrow. And so why in the world would we waste our life just looking forward to such a small percentage of it? I learned this philosophy actually from Michael Jackson, right? When he was doing the Thriller album, he was saying, he made this record-breaking album, and he said that, prior, people would always just have a few singles on an album that were, considered as hits. So you do a few great hits and then the rest of the songs no one cared about. And he said, well, why can't every single song be great? And he became one of the greatest recording artists in all of history, earning the most Grammys on a single album and the most album sales. People are still trying to break his record to date, which is incredible. I think the only person who's come close to that, or maybe his title with him, was Lauryn Hill, right? And that was, goodness, over 20 years ago now. So why can't every day be great? Think about having a great Monday through Sunday, not just having a great Friday night through Sunday. Really shift your life and expand what you should be enjoying. And you should be enjoying every single day. I always say that I don't have a bad day. I may have a bad hour, I may have a bad couple of hours, but I've never had a bad day. Every day is a gift from God, and I'm going to cherish it, and I'm going to enjoy it from the time I wake up at 4:30 in the morning until the time I lay my head down at night. Normally, I do not stay up this late, but I was so excited to talk to you all about this topic, and I hope that it's helpful for you. Okay, so number 3 that I want to talk to you about is you only enjoy your life when you're taking a vacation. It's the same concept, okay? We shouldn't be living from vacation to vacation. And vacation is wonderful. It is necessary. I am not coming at you with a referendum on vacations. But what I know, again, I work with incredible, dynamic leaders who are very successful, people who are very passionate about what they do. They love what they do. And you have to make them go on vacation. And I've always said, if I'm going to live a life, I would prefer to have a life that I don't want to vacate from. Now, again, we all need rest, and we all need breaks, and we all need time to ourselves to pull away and isolate. You need that. But again, I would rather have the kind of life where someone has to tell me you need to go on vacation versus the kind of life where I'm like, oh my gosh, when is my next vacation? Again, make every single day count. And if you're not making every day count, if you're not staying and saying, I'm here, my time counts, my time matters. If you die today and there's not enough people to grieve you, that their lives would be completely interrupted by your presence, you're not making your time count here. And let me say this, as much as we all try to make everything about ourselves in this current content, this current dialogue about taking care of yourself is important, but you shouldn't be so full of yourself and full on yourself that you forgot to pour out to others. Fill up and pour out. That is so important. Otherwise, if you continue to fill up and fill up and fill up, you're just going to become sick on yourself, right? And that doesn't work. Do you know how that looks? It looks when you're full of yourself, you become anxious, impatient, irritated with people, angry, stressed out. All of these things happen, right? All of these things happen. Your relationships start to die out. It's hard to get along with people. You're finding things to be difficult, little things to be difficult, like just going to the store and being patient, waiting in line. You make life very hard on yourself when you don't make your life count to be a blessing to others and to connect with others and to develop meaningful connections over time. So I will say, please do not live your life just looking forward to vacation. You should be able to wake up and you're excited that you have another day to live. And if your life has become so monotonous or repetitious, or it's become so stressful that you always feel like you have to run away, let that be a sign that it is time to change your life. It is time to change your life. Do not go another day where you have to wait 3 months to be excited about your life again. It shouldn't be like that. There are people who travel every single day. If you love traveling, if that's what gives you life and energy and revitalization, then build a life that makes it possible for you to travel. Every day should be meaningful for you. Maybe that's the industry that you should be in. Maybe you should be doing some missionary work. Whatever the case may be, if you want to see the world, get out there and see it. Some of us have limitations. We have children who are in school, and I totally understand that. But sometimes we have to consider, what can we be doing to get our lives on track so that we can live our full purpose, our destiny, our meaning, our calling in life? Don't miss it by just going for the status quo and doing what people are telling you is acceptable. Like I said, going through the standard Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, that's okay. That's fine. If it gives you life, if it brings you contentment, if it brings you joy, great. But if it is draining you, if it is exhausting you, if it's frustrating you, get out of that. Pray, ask God, meditate, find out what it is you need to do to make a change, okay? Here's another sign. This is sign number 4, that you are not investing in getting better. If you, whatever it is that you're doing on a daily basis, okay, if you are not invested financially on how to improve that, it's probably a sign that that thing's really just not for you. You're probably a square peg in a round hole. You're doing it just to get by. You're doing it just to make ends meet. That's a great sign that you probably need to leave that thing alone, because of, again, working with leaders, they are constantly investing in their skills. They're always pouring their money and their resources into how they can expand, grow, whether it's growing their companies, their businesses, whether it's their cause, like I said, whether it's their skills, their talents, whatever the case may be. If you are not inspired to invest in that, like you're not going to put any money into it or any more additional time, you don't want to go to school and learn more, or get better, or get a certification, whatever the case may be, chances are it's not for you. Okay, and number 5, this is a big one. This one is that you are daydreaming about living a different life. So think about the things that you're daydreaming about quite often, those things that are on your mind. Hopefully, and again, this is a kingdom conversation, okay? I'm assuming you're pouring your mind into the right places. Because it is very easy for us to daydream about things that are counterproductive to life, things that are not healthy for us at all. I'm not going to dig into your habits because I'm not here to offend people tonight. I want to say that, I hope you're keeping your mind clean and clear from the clutter and from the debris and the dirt of this life and the weight and the pressures that people try to put on you to be and look like and whatever the case may be. But I'm saying, if you are daydreaming about a different life and it doesn't look like the life that you have right now, then it is time for you to start making some moves. You only have today. Okay, I want you to act like you only have today. Tomorrow is not promised. So think of some small steps that you can take to go in the right direction. Here's something I want to tell you. Purpose is not something that you really can miss, but it is something that you cannot maximize. You're going to live your purpose. You are a created being. You were created for a reason, and your creator is going to get what your creator wants to get out of you. You just may not be aware of your worth. You may not be aware of your value. You may not be maximizing it. You might not be grateful for your gifts. You may not know what they are. So there are people who, when they are living their best life, they're very grateful for what they have. They are very aware of their gifts and their talents. They understand the value of them and they have maximized them. Everyone is gifted. Everyone has talent. Everyone has skill. Everyone has purpose. So let's just say, you're an amazing listener. There are some people who get paid a lot of money to listen. There's some people who go and they listen all around the world and they've built fulfilling lives and careers out of listening. And there are some people who have not, and that's okay. But I want you to take advantage of the opportunity to just embrace the fact that you are living, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You just may not be doing it at the capacity that you should be doing it. That's something to take into consideration, okay? Again, I want you to note this other thing. It's never too late. That's the beautiful thing. As long as you get to wake up, as long as you got another day, as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you have your right mind, you have some bit of health, you got another chance. And I don't want you to take that for granted, okay? Be grateful for that. Be grateful for every single day that you get to live, because every single day is another opportunity to get on the track and to live that life that you're daydreaming about. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to recommit to your journey. I want you to recommit to your growth. I want you to learn your worth, okay? Do the research, do the homework. So let's just go over those 5 points again. Number 1, you missed it if you're drained, okay? Number 2, you have missed it if you're living for the weekend. You should be excited for Mondays. You should not be dreading Monday and anxious about Monday. Number 3, okay? You only live life on vacation. You shouldn't only be enjoying life when you're vacating from it. Okay, number 4, you aren't investing in your skills. And number 5, you are daydreaming about living another life. So I wanted you to have that inner dialogue. Ask yourself those pertinent questions that I talked about. Get on track. And if you're watching this, I want to say thank you. If you know anyone who may be struggling with some of these things or trying to figure out who they are, they want to get on track. They want to live a life that's purposeful and meaningful. And I think that much of the world right now is deeply hungry for meaning. They're hungry for meaning in their lives. And so I'll just share this with them, because it's so important that we understand why we're here in this world and that we make the most of our time. No one wants to find themselves on their deathbed and they can't remember what they did. I mean, I think we've all been there, especially when you were young and you got paid on Friday, right? And then you hit Monday and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I spend my paycheck on? Do you want to feel that way about your life? Like, what did I do? Did I watch Netflix until I died? If you found out that you had 24 hours left, would you feel like you had a fulfilling life? Would you feel like you did enough? So please, 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 please do not waste another minute sitting around doing things that are counterproductive to your time. Make your time count. Most of the things that we do that could be a waste of our time, we're doing it because we're trying to numb the fact and distract ourselves from the fact that we are wasting a lot of time, and we don't have time to waste, okay? So get on track, leaders. God loves you. I love you. I hope that you are ready to embrace your journey to the fullest. I have so much content out there to encourage you. Some of us have just been knocked off our block. We've gone through hard times. We've been through tough things, and we need some encouragement. If you need some encouragement, feel free to jump over to some of my other videos. I'm more than happy to encourage you. Stay encouraged on this journey. You can do this. You can do this, and you can find your way back on track. Like I said, it's never too late. Never too late. Take advantage of the opportunity to have the peace in your heart that you need so that you can succeed and get on the right track. Anyhow, I hope you have a great night. Thank you again for watching this broadcast. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel or visit my website, tiaramey.com. And I will talk to you again very soon.